learning a lot of these cool strategies that are going to change your business forever. And that's what it takes to get there. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. With that being said, let's jump right in. I'm not here to waste any time. This is going to be super dense. This is going to be a very strategical, very tactical stuff that I think can really change your business forever. And it's changed so many other companies that we work with forever. So with that being said, I'm going to show you how we took an offer from 0 to $2.8 million per month in 5 months. And by month 6, we did $3.2 million. Okay. The coolest part here is we did this all with cold traffic. Okay. We didn't leverage like insane organic followings that people already had and things like that. Actually, it was even harder. We had to go against the current because the person that we did this for, we actually were competing with another marketing agency that has exclusivity of all their products. And with that being said, we had to make a new product. We had to exclude all the keywords of the person's name. So all this organic halo effect reach that you get from running ads, we were not able to get any of that for reference. And we're not allowed to drive any organic links on Instagram. And also, I'm going to show you how you can do this too, step by step, as much as possible. So just to give you some context here, we actually did this with a weekly recorded webinar. This wasn't live. We did it one time. We did a launch, and I'll show you all the numbers, what they look like. We did a launch and we basically just took that launch recording. We took all the chat, we exported it, we manually did it ourselves. And so on each recording, the chat still runs the way that it normally would. And from a time standpoint, we've tested a lot of different times. I know a lot of people like to do weekdays at night. Sunday nights are a popular one. We found that Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern just happens to work the best for us. And particularly for this person, you know, we wanted it to feel as live as possible. And they do things on Sunday nights, like they already do like live shows on YouTube and things like that. So we didn't want those things to conflict. So with that being said, let me give you a quick intro about who I am. First and foremost, I go by Dada. This is my amazing and beautiful wife, Terry. Milana, my daughter. She's about to be a year old here shortly. And I'm the founder and CEO of 4Media Marketing. We're one of the fastest full service e-com and info product marketing agencies in the US. Last year, we did over 700 million in managed revenue. This year, we're looking across $1 billion as of now. We've worked with over 100 8-figure brands, and we have a team of over, right now, I think we're sitting at about 115 marketing strategists and team members in our company. So here's some people that we've worked with. You may recognize them. CEO Lawyer is one of the biggest attorneys on social media. We also do Law by Mike stuff. He's also, I think, the biggest attorney on social media. I think they're tied for that title at this point. Prestige Labs, that's Alex Hormozzi's company. He exited. We basically did all their marketing up until the exit. Snow Teeth Whitening, we helped them with a lot of stuff online as well. ClickFunnels, we helped them with a lot of stuff online as well. These are some brands I'm sure you've seen, but I'm going to skip over this part. Let's get to the juicy part. The thing is, all I ask in return, if I bring you value at any point in this presentation, if you just scan this, it'll take you to my Instagram page. Currently, you know, a little bit more of a following than what's on here. Not too much, but you'll know as long as it's over 60K followers, that's my real account. It's the only one with a blue check. Don't fall for all the fake ones. Scan this, give me a follow, post it, tag me. If you tag me, I'll repost you on my story. Only if I bring you value. Do not follow me. Do not repost me. Do not do anything if I do not bring you any value here today. With that being said, let's jump in. I'm going to show you every single number from September till basically March, so that you can see the entire thing here. This is as transparent as possible, how much money we made every week. And let me tell you kind of the gist of the story, so I can show you how we turned this from a launch to an evergreen product, and then also did $3.2 million at like 80% net margins, right? So you can see here, if you look at, you know, week 10-3 to 10-9, we did a launch. We did $1.2 million from a launch. We wanted to make sure this product was viable. Okay. When we go to cold traffic, I'm not going to sit here and just like test products I think might work. I want to test them to my current audience. If my current audience buys them and I know that they are actually interested in this stuff, then I know it's a valuable product to take to cold market. So that's where we focus first. We did a launch. We planned it for a month. Email sequences leading up to it, all this stuff. It was a live call, and we tested it at the same time that we were going to run the webinar, which was Saturday at noon, just to make sure that the time was going to get a high show rate. So luckily enough, we did. We got an awesome show rate. We got an awesome purchase rate as well. And you can even see here, you know, 16% purchase. The next week, 22% purchase. You can keep, I mean, even now when we're down here in February and March, we're still getting, you know, almost 15% of people to purchase. Some weeks, 21% of people to purchase. And basically what we did was we did this launch. We didn't have any purchase upsells, nothing. It was just a launch of the first product. Once we realized it was viable, we spent the next couple months running some traffic, nothing crazy. You can see here 8x return, 9x return, 160K a week, 180K a week, etc. But we didn't have any upsells. And then we basically eventually implemented upsells in November, end of November. And that allowed us to scale. And, as you guys know, if you spend more on ads, your ROI is going to keep going down, right? So we did the opposite. We spent more on ads and got our ROI to go up. So you can see here, we had a 1.9 ROI, 3 ROI, 5 ROI. This 0.5 is an outlier. This is actually Christmas week, so we didn't really spend much money at all. We only spent basically half of this number, or double this number, 26K basically in ads, when we usually would be spending more. But then you can see here in February, we took this thing to 500K a week at a 5 to 6x return. I mean, these numbers are freaking stupid. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through every single bit of piece of everything that we did here. Here's some more numbers on the launch: $1.2 million. As you can see, pretty much most of it came from email. We didn't run much paid ads. We barely did any paid ads at the front because we wanted to make sure that works. And just so you know, this isn't something I talk about now. I'll show you at the end kind of where you can get more resources. But basically, we split people up into 3 different categories. And this is how we are able to squeeze so much out of our webinars. We squeeze them into people who missed the webinar, people who attended but left early. They didn't actually get to the point where we pitched, and people who attended webinar left early, but they saw the actual pitch itself. And we treat these people into 3 different buckets. So like if you're treating everyone who just attended or registered and didn't buy, or attended and didn't buy as the same category, you need to start rethinking your strategy, because there's a massive difference in how you need to talk to someone who's seen your pitch and someone who hasn't seen your pitch but has seen the training. So just keep that in mind. Offers currently trending. This is a screenshot from my phone. Offers currently trending at $3.2 million a month. This is the last 4 weeks of the last screenshot I took. You can see here $3.2 million in monthly. It's absolutely insane. And guys, this is all cold traffic. So 3 steps here that are going to help us achieve this and help you do the same. Number 1 is our power prospecting system. So there's 2 layers to this. Number 1 is I know a lot of you guys are basically giving away things for free. Download this free PDF, download this free guide, or download this free contract, or download whatever it is. What I wanted to do was, here's how I thought about it. If we got people who are, instead of getting these for free, to pay us $1, how much better of a lead is that? They have to take out their credit card. They have to give us $1. Now, the friction of $1 is so low that it makes you think, why do I even want someone who doesn't want to pay me $1? You know what I mean? If someone can't even, after I give all this free value on organic, whatever the case is, on ads, if someone doesn't give me $1 for this thing that's worth way more than $1, this is probably not even a prospect I want on my list. We're going to be paying for contacts on the list. And like, it's really cool to flex a bunch of contacts. But it's, a lot cooler to have contacts that are actually buyers from you. So if someone transacts even $1, psychologically speaking, this is how we think about all our offers. Psychologically speaking, that is now a buyer. That is a person who's in a purchasing mentality. And I know they're willing to take the effort to pull out their credit card and type in that number manually to be able to work with me, to transact with me. And it's not even about the dollar. It's about the effort that they pull out that credit card, right? But the cool part is, and the real reason we charge $1 instead of doing it for free is we have upsells on the back end. So for example, in this case, this is a real estate offer. You can see here, we have a wholesale contract we give away for $1. Then as soon as they transact, using ClickFunnels, we can do the one-time offers. Next page is a $25 one-time offer for a different piece of content, essentially, that we're also giving away for free. And then not pictured on this slide, we added a third one that's for $297. That's like a digital course that they can also buy. So we're basically upselling them from $1 to $25 to then $297 again. Average cart value on this is getting crazy. It's in the $100 plus range right now, which means we're allowed to actually run cold traffic to it. We still use this mainly as an organic tool. So we're running so much on paid ads that we're getting bigger followings on Instagram, bigger followings on YouTube. And we're basically plugging in this dollar contract into all those descriptions, bios, etc. And we're basically funneling people through. So we used to do this for free. Now we're charging $1. Again, 2 benefits. Psychologically, we have purchasers now. It's a much better email list than we've ever had. Much higher conversion rates, much higher open rates, much better way to ascend people from transacting for $1 to registering for a free webinar, free training on a Saturday, 2 weeks from the time that they actually purchased this, as opposed to just someone who got something for free and forgot about it. So The psychology of the dollar is really strong, and then it allows us to do the one-time upsells on ClickFunnels. If we don't put the dollar, we have to then ask them to pull out their credit card to buy something for $300, which is a lot harder than having their credit card already there with one click. So you can see here, this is causing some pretty awesome returns on the paid ad side. You can see the ROAS on the right side, although it's not fucking, tons of money. It is, some weeks, tens of thousands of dollars every week. Just being added to the business. But more importantly, how many contacts are we adding? Because between this and the paid ads that we're running for the free registration straight to the registration page as well, we're actually bringing in about 8 to 10,000 registrants a week right now. So imagine growing your email list by 8 to 10K every single week. By the end of the year, we'll have added a minimum of 500,000 people to our email list, new people. So that's like the real power here. I'm sure you guys know in online business, like having the biggest list and having the most engaged list and things like that is really what's going to create the longevity of your business and be able to squeeze out as much profit as possible. So, next thing we did in our power prospecting system was we refresh creatives pretty frequently. We're always trying to think ahead. One of our core values in our company is hard work beats talent, but planning beats hard work. And so we always like to plan ahead. We always like to have scripts always set up. So in this case, you can see here, CPL was great. Then it started increasing, right? So our cost per opt-in for the webinar went from $14-12 to about $22 at one point. And then we had to basically bring it back down. So you can imagine we're spending double the money on ads in March as we are in January, yet somehow our cost per lead is like 70% less. Okay. It's pretty crazy to think about. I'm going to show you exactly the changes that we made in the creatives, but just for some proof, instead of just some, screenshots from a spreadsheet, which we manually pull, and I'll give you access to those templates at the end as well for those reporting sheets. You can see here in our Hyros account, if you use Hyros, hit me in the chat with Hyros. This is my favorite tool. And if you don't use it, you definitely should. But looking here, you can see cost per lead, $20. This is the sales that came in February, 2.2 million, just to make sure we're clear. You can see the profit here, 2.2 million, 386K of cost, guys. Like, I'm not sitting here and showing you how to make $2.2 million on, and keep 200K of it. I'm showing you how to keep like 80% of this money. Then you can see here, cost per lead in March, you can see the date range at the top, dropped to $13, and we spent more money. You can see here, cost 592K, cost in February, going back a slide, is 386K. So you can see here, cost 592, cost per lead 13. So not only did we spend double, but our cost per lead dropped almost by half. So if you do the math, double and double, we basically 4x'd the profitability of this company just by shifting creatives here. And then one last screenshot from the Facebook manager. You can see for the first half of March, you can see the top right, March 1st to 16th, cost per lead was $12, and we spent 187K on that. I'm talking like registrants to a webinar. These numbers are absolutely ridiculous. So that being said, here's kind of the original content that we took. This is what we did after the launch. We mixed up a bunch of graphics. We used a bunch of keywords that we felt like were the ones that really got the most engagement on the webinar. And I'll play one of these videos for you, but it's essentially just
big banks and venture capitalists and business tycoons are the only ones that are currently using this strategy to make money in real estate without ever having to find their own deals. And until now, no one has been able to use this strategy without having FU money. But for the past few years, my team and I have been working tirelessly on trying to find a way for anyone to take advantage of this insider tactic to wedge themselves into real estate. Even if you have zero money to bring to the table. I'm not talking about wholesale, digital assets, or leveraging Airbnb. This strategy I'm going to show you has been around for decades, yet remained out of reach for most real estate investors. But we finally found a way for anyone with a laptop to start using it immediately. Getting into real estate is not easy, but it is simple. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you exactly how to do this on this upcoming training. Click the link down below, join me in that training. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get started in real estate, no matter who you are and what stage of the game you're in.
Cool. So you get the point there. Basically, the key point here is the curiosity, right? So that's what I love doing in my ads, especially when I'm running the webinars. I want it to be really, really curiosity invoking. I don't want to tell them what it is. I want them to feel like this is something they haven't heard of. And something that's very important for me is eliminating all the other things that they think it could be. So it's not wholesaling, it's not flipping, it's not digital assets, it's not Airbnb, like all these things that they're in their head taking this description and making assumptions of what it is what I'm trying to eliminate right out the gate, which is why we have such a high click-through rate, which is why we have such a high registration rate on the page. So these were the creatives that worked for us for a few months. We made a few $1 million from them, and then they started wearing out. So we had to make a difference here. I'll show you. These creatives dropped the CPL from $22 to $13. And it's very simple, the psychological reason behind it. The third one, you can see here is like the TikTok, trending green screen where they take a screenshot and show you. So I'm going to show you 2 of these ads just so I don't have to, make you sit here and watch all of them. But I'll show you a clear reason why these are working. So let's start with the last one.
This is the most slept on strategy in all of real estate, and this is how you should be making money without having to find a deal, find a buyer, comp a deal, get a license, do any of that stuff. This is not wholesaling. This is literally called Gator method. It's something that nobody's talking about. In fact, this is how my team will make $150,000 this month, and how a lot of my students are making 50 grand, 16 grand in 6 hours the other day from one student. You got to get into this training. We do a training exactly how to get into the game. You don't have to do cold calling, door knocking, any of that lame stuff, because it's not your deal. You come in on the Gator method and actually amplify everybody else's success in the real estate transaction without any money of your own. Click on the link. I want to give you a training, show you exactly how we do this.
Cool. That's number one. You can tell, again, curiosity invoking. I never tell them how they're doing it. I tell them what it's not, and the cool things that they can do with it and the opportunities that they have, right? So here's another one. What's working the best for us right now is hands-on stuff. So like this screen recording is great. Him driving to a property that he's made money from using this method, or walking a property that he's made using this method and made money from. So I'll show you what that looks like right here.
All right, so I'm visiting a project that I made $16,000 on. I didn't have to buy the project, don't have to manage the contractors, don't have to deal with anything. In fact, I don't even own the project. That's the freaking coolest thing. See these contractors over here working? I don't have to manage them. I don't have to pay them. With the Gator method, a strategy that I created this year, I teach people how to get into real estate transactions that are brand new, people that are experienced. You don't have to find the deals. You don't have to find the buyers. You don't have to deal with any of that stuff. You literally insert yourself in the transaction and you amplify everybody else's success around you. So if you guys want to learn how to do the Gator method on stuff like this, make 16,000 bucks in like, I don't know what it took us, like 6 hours or so. Click the link down below. I want to give you guys a training on exactly how we do this.
And the coolest part is these videos are so easy to shoot, guys. They're easy for you guys to shoot. It's more the script and the concept of keeping things, eliminating the things that they think it is that it's not, showing clear evidence of what it is and how other people are making money of it, and showing the benefits of it, right? Every way to make money or whatever product you're selling has its own benefits that other ones don't, right? Like, for example, Amazon FBA has its own benefits that maybe like Shopify e-commerce doesn't. So like in Amazon FBA, I would be very specific about, like, I don't have to handle my own products. I never touch my own products. I don't even see my own products. I don't even see any returns. I don't deal with that stuff. Someone else does. Like, that's a massive benefit of Amazon FBA. And that's what I would really pinpoint on. And I will also say, oh, this isn't crypto trading. This isn't Forex. This isn't real estate. I would go down the list of all these things that it's not. It's not drop shipping, blah, blah, blah. And you'll create a lot of really good results from this. And then just kind of a bonus tip real quick. Here's how we're editing our videos now. We're basically using DaVinci Resolve as the editing software. So our primary one is Adobe Premiere. So most of you guys probably use that. Adobe Premiere is what we use for editing. But what we're doing in DaVinci is we're basically, I don't know exactly how to do it. I'm sure your editors do. But we're using DaVinci for like a few minutes. Basically what we do is we upload this video and we pull the person out of the frame so that we put the captions behind them. This has decreased our CPL. Again, I didn't take screenshots of it for you, but we're able to run so much more traffic and get so much more engagement. I'll show you an example.
We created a challenge to get you integrated into real estate. And speaking of integration, we actually utilize AI technology to do all the lead generation and all the follow-up for you. We brought a community of people that are more experienced in doing active deals that will hold your hand. And we're calling this the AI Challenge. So go to myaIchallenge.com, sign up, come join a community of people that are actively doing deals and letting the robots do all the heavy lifting. I look forward to seeing you in that challenge.
Cool. So you can see here, we're overlaying, we're zooming in, we're zooming out, we're doing all these little things. And if you want really good examples of this, you can go to my Instagram page. I've been posting a lot of reels using similar strategies that are getting way more engagement and views than my previous reels did, even though they're less valuable content, quite frankly. So really cool thing that, just bonus tip that your editors should be doing that I think will generate a lot of success in your ads. Cool. So step 2 is the problem pushing rule. Like I said, we transform this. I'll take you back to the first slide real quick with the numbers. You see here, all these weeks we had $0 coming in from upsells. And then by the end of it, we're having an extra 55K, 62K, 55K, 50K coming in from upsells. There's a specific reason why we're able to do that. You know what I mean? We're able to increase so much of our revenue collected up front. And guys, this is all these numbers I'm showing you are no back end. This is like day one transactions only. This is like money we collect on the call. And that is it. Like, we're not sitting here and like then calling everyone and upselling them all these things. We're implementing those strategies right now. And I'll show you where you can find more of those at the end of this call. But all this money is just straight upfront cash collected on cold traffic. That's why it's so freaking ridiculous. I can't believe like this is even happening. So here's how we kind of do this. Here's how we get so much out of our upsell. It's called the problem pushing rule. So basically, once the buyer has made a purchase, they're officially problem and solution aware. So for you guys, who understand like the phases of market awareness, they now understand that there is a problem, whatever it is. I need to make more money, or I need to make more money without having to call people, or whatever the case is in this. And they're also solution aware. This is the product that can basically be the solution for me to be able to do that. Once we have both problem and solution aware, the psychology of the buyer completely changes, right? Now they understand that there's a solution and there's a problem, and we can recreate different problems because of that. So for example, we push problems that are now created by being problem aware. Every solution technically creates another problem. Okay. I'll show you an example. If I fix your marketing system and you generate more leads, that means you're going to have too little time to follow up, which means now the problem is you have too little time to follow up, and you need another solution, which is automated reply system. So now there's a whole nother solution here, automated reply system, to solve the problem that we created, which was too little time to follow up because we fixed your marketing system in the first place. So I'll give you an example here. So in this case, this is a product that helps you leverage money better in real estate. You don't use your own money. You don't use your own deals. You use other people's stuff. The problem is, in order to generate, you don't need to find your own deals, but you need to create a lot of connections. You need to use other people's deals. It will take up a lot of your time doing outreach, building these connections and networks, et cetera, right? So now we've created a problem from the product that they just purchased. So solution would be a product that teaches you how to hire and manage VAs to let you make more from the first product that we sold you, as an example. So that's exactly what we did. So we implemented a VA product, and we basically split test it, which I would highly, highly recommend you always do. We split test a $197 price point, and we split tested a $297 price point. Okay. And basically we wanted to see which one would get us more earnings per page view, et cetera. Right. So you can see here, 75% of people took it at $197, 62% of people took it at $297. Just doing that math, way more money is going to be generated from people taking, $297 product at 62% versus a $197 product at 75%. I'll show you how that math checks out later. But we thought to ourselves, you know what, how could we make even more money? Maybe we're solving the wrong problem, right? I know there's a 75% conversion rate here, but we're only charging $197, $297. So like, what would we need to charge $997 on an upsell and get the percentages fairly close to this? Because even if the percentage is 50% or 40% on a $997 product, we would make way more money than any of these percentages for a $297 product. So let's see what that looks like. So basically, we realized people wanted something else. We surveyed the people that are currently in it, and we realized their main problem and the main thing that they wanted was more leads. So we actually assumed that because they got the program, they would generate more leads, and they would need someone to generate the more leads for them. And so we gave them the person that would generate the more leads. But the reality was they just wanted more leads. They weren't concerned about replacing their time yet. They didn't understand scaling a business. They just wanted more money. That's why they bought the program in the first place. So they were too novice with this new skill set that we're teaching them to even understand that they needed to scale and hire, and they just want to get their dollars faster. So we switched it around. So basically what we did was we put the problem that we currently had, product that helps you leverage money better in real estate. Problem is now I need to get more deals. That's a new problem. Solution is a product that teaches you how to get more leads and therefore have more business, which creates another problem. I'm going to be so busy now with lower level tasks, which then allows us to still sell our VA product third. So basically what we did was we stacked the offers on top of each other. This is an example of what the landing page looks like for the new offer that we created to get leads. I just want to share something super important. This is all text-based. There's no video. There's nothing on here. It's all text-based, and this sales letter alone is crushing some crazy percentages. And to be exact, you can look right here. 40% of people are taking a $997 upsell on our $3,000 original webinar product. So on the webinar, we're selling it for $3K. Then they get the first upsell page, which is basically $997, and 40% of people are taking that. So if you run the math on 1,000 sessions, okay, you can look down here at 197, 75% conversion rate, which was, if you think back, this is what I was showing you guys here. So, 197 upsell, 75% conversion rate. If you take that number, that means every 1,000 sessions, we're going to have 148K. At 297 at 62%, we're having 183K per 1,000 sessions. And at 997 at 39.8%, which is what it's at, we'd be making 396.8K. So I'm telling you, we'd be making more than double what the best case scenario was before, just because we reframed the problems that we were creating and pushing and solve for those problems. Even at a higher price point, people were still willing to take it. So the cool part is we're in internet marketing, so we can stack as many as we want. So we actually ended up stacking both. So you can see here in February alone, you can see here, this upsell limitless lead flow did at 38.9%, did another 100 and almost 80K. And then the VA products at 60% conversion rate did another 30K. This is pure net profit, guys. This is like an extra $200,000 hitting the bank account, no additional ad spend, no email follow-up, no sales team commissions, nothing. This is all just happening on the front end. And this is a big reason why we're able to scale. So with that being said, step 3 actually is going to be accelerated authority. So basically, how can I get the audience to think as highly as possible about our host? And how can I get that done in the shortest amount of time possible before the webinar? So if you really think about it, here's how I'm looking at it. I want to sell someone on the person that's doing the webinar more than what they're going to learn in a way. Okay. Psychologically speaking, you can basically, if someone's cold, like you can sit here and talk about a topic, whatever, but like, why would I come and listen to this person? I could just go research whatever that topic is and try to figure it out on my own instead of waiting till Saturday to do this call. So basically what I do is I basically position this person in the highest light possible. So our email sequences leading up to it, I think a lot of people just send emails and try to build up hype and I can't wait for you to learn this, etc. We actually send to authoritative things on the internet. So for example, mixed podcast testimonials. So like we get our people to do podcasts about the subject that they're talking on without giving away the info that they're giving away on the training, and talk about it, et cetera. And usually have someone else who's in the program talking, et cetera. We send them to that, right? Then if there's authoritative PR, if they have articles in Forbes, if they have trainings online with other really big people that we can basically leverage their trust. So for example, if it's in real estate and he has a video online with Robert Kiyosaki, I would love to send people a video of him with Robert Kiyosaki. So now I can automatically gain the trust of Robert Kiyosaki to him as well. If someone has a TV show, I love to send people right to the TV show so they can watch the TV show and be like, dude, this guy's so cool. He's a genius. I like him. I'd love to learn from him on Saturday, and any other valuable training. So really, really high level strategy here that you can do is don't put your really good trainings that you have recorded on YouTube unlisted, because that's what we do with mixed podcast testimonials. I'll show you one in a second. What I would do is I'd put it on a Google Drive, and then I would basically email people this exclusive training that they can get access to before the training. And it's a Google Drive link, because when it's a Google Drive link, people know that it's like exclusive. They're like, dude, he shared a link that's on the Google Drive, not public on YouTube, not all this stuff. So they really assume that it's private and valuable, and they treat it like that. We have a much higher view rate on those videos as opposed to YouTube videos. But I'll show you an example of the mixed podcast testimonials. You can see here, out of all these videos are all put at the same time. Most of them are more relevant to his channel than this one even. You can see the first one is 2.9K, then 2.7K here, 4.1K, but you can see the one about this 100K a month with Gator has 35,000 views. That's because I'm running all this email traffic leading up to the actual webinar to it. And basically anyone that is watching, anyone that's registered for the webinar and hasn't gone to the webinar date yet, like they're still in the registration period between the webinar registration and the actual live webinar that they're expected to watch, I'm retargeting them with ads to go to this video. So that's why the view count is so high. I'm basically pumping people into here. Imagine people are watching a 43-minute video about how someone is making 100K a month with the product that they're about to go learn about how to do without actually learning it on this video, right? They're going to be so prepped and primed. By the time Saturday comes around, they're so excited. They're setting an alarm. They're getting on the call. They're the first ones there. And they already know it works. They just want to know how it works so that they can have the confidence to do it themselves. So that's a massive boost and allows our show rates to be like upwards of like 40% on a regular basis to cold traffic. And a quick bonus I got here for you guys, 2 bonuses that we use to make a lot more money. This will change your entire business. So number one is the failed payment automation. So I'm not talking about failed payments when someone like has a recurring charge that fails. I'm talking about people who have first time failed payments. You get on a webinar, you pitch, and what you don't realize is like 25% of people that tried to buy actually had a failed payment. The bank declined it. They didn't have enough money. There's a million other reasons why they actually tried to run a transaction and it failed. I'm not saying like you have to close them. They were closed. They tried to put their credit card in and something didn't work. So you can see here for reference, just from October till today, $1.9 million of failed transactions happen. 1.9 million. Imagine being able to recoup 50% of that money. That's an extra 900K of just free cash, no ad spend, nothing, just straight to the bank account. And it's just such an amazing point of leverage that people are just not utilizing. So here's what we did. Basically, someone gets on the webinar, they go to the webinar and they go to put their credit card in to transact, and it doesn't work for whatever reason. I don't do it the same day, but on Monday. So the webinar's on Saturday. I do it on Monday so it looks realistic. Basically, we send an automated email. So here's what it looks like. It looks like it's forwarded from the person doing the webinar to his team. So if you look at here, pay a little attention to the bottom side first. From Pace to Travis, example. Can you help me take care of customer full name? Okay, so I'm going to use my name as an example. Can you help me take care of Eddie Malouf? Hey, Travis, just been going over attendees list for the Gator Method training from this past weekend. I noticed there was a problem processing Eddie Malouf's payment. Contact them and make sure we've done everything possible to get them access to Gator. It'd be a shame if it was just a technical glitch or something. Then, Travis is now forwarding this email to the customer. And you can see the subject line forward. Can you help me take care of customer full name? So, hey, it's Travis from Pace Morby's team. Pace personally draw me this note to touch base with you about getting you access to Gator Method. Seems there was a problem processing your payment. This happens, but there's usually a good reason for it. Sometimes it's just about calling your card issuer and sorting things out. If you've been in touch with them, then try it again here. And then I give them the link to buy again. If there's still a problem, here's the key, or there's something else you need help with, just hit reply, let me know, and we'll see what we can do to get you in. And people will respond to this and actually be like, hey, I'm low on funds. Could we split into a 3 payment, whatever? Just pricing that I don't want to publicly put online, but I'll gladly transact with people over email. And our customer support team can deal with this. We don't need a sales team to do it. We don't need to pay commission. These are people who are messaging us to actually pay. So this is a really, really cool way to recover some funds. Cool. Next thing right here is talk the right talk is what I like to call it. This is very meticulous and particular strategy that I don't see a lot of people doing. But eventually, as you start spending so much money on ads and all these things, you're going to start realizing that you're creating such a big pool of warm audience. Okay. Whether it's people who are watching your videos, people are subscribing, people have seen so many ads and now are on your email list, but they haven't registered yet or they haven't bought, whatever the case is. So you need to talk to people differently, right? People who are cold, you need to treat them differently than people who are warm and already know who you are. So what we do, and I have them linked here, but I don't think I have enough time here to walk through them with you. But if you guys want to DM me on Instagram, I can get you these links and you can have them, or I can just give them to Onik and the team afterwards and get them over to you guys. But we have split funnels for warm versus cold traffic. So for example, on our cold traffic funnel, we're talking more about the person, right? Like I said, I want to sell on the person. So in this case, let's just pretend it's Eddie. Eddie Malouf has done XYZ. Eddie Malouf's doing this. Eddie Malouf is going to teach you about this thing that he does and he's taught other people to do, blah, blah, blah. On the warm traffic, I don't need to talk about Eddie Malouf. These guys are on my email list. I'm trying to get them to register for the free training because they never have. But I don't need to sit here and create FOMO and urgency and talk about who I am, because they already know who I am. I need to talk about the training. Here's what we're going to learn in the training. Here's what you're going to get out of the training. And that is my main focal point and focus of the copy. The pages look exactly the same. You can't even tell the difference from a graphic standpoint. If you couldn't read words, you would think they were the same exact website, but the words and the headlines and the titles are all different. One of them on the warm is focused towards the actual training itself. And on the cold, I know it sounds counterintuitive because we're always selling what we're teaching and all this stuff, but the cold is selling on the person. This person is on TV. This person has $200 million of real estate. This person has this, and he's going to be the one teaching you this thing. Because at the end of the day, I heard this the other day. I had a friend who never did webinars, and he always heard about webinars, all this stuff, never did it. And then he attended a mastermind one time. There's a guy making way more money than him, and he looked him in the eye and he said, "You need to do webinars." That's all he said. And then since that day, he did webinars. Last month, he did like $2.5 million on his webinar. And I say that to say, sometimes it just takes a richer person looking you in the eyes and giving you the same advice that you've been getting already. And so that's how I treat it with cold traffic. I need to show them that this is a person of credibility. This is a person of good character, good morals, and whatever he's showing you is actually legitimate and going to help you because of the person that he is. If I focus too much on the training and I don't focus on the person, no one really wants to show up as much because they feel like they can maybe get that information online, but they can't get that information from that person elsewhere, which is the key here. So that's another really cool thing that we do.